there, so let's go over getting these tongues in your Aibo. So make sure before you do this to clean out their mouth. I wouldn't suggest using alcohol for this just because the inside of their mouths are silicone. So just wipe it with some water, and then you're going to want to get that tongue and peel that white backing sheet off so you just have the plastic carrier sheet and your tongue left. You're going to want to use that extra as grip to get it in there because the space can be a little tight. So you can hold it like how I'm holding it here in the video, and you should be able to adjust it in there. 1000s have that little ridge in the front of their mouth for holding their bones, so it can make it a little tough to place the tongue properly, but once you're happy with it, just press down. And if you're not happy with it, you can just lift it back up like I did there. Just don't press down and it won't stick. But once you're committed to the spot and you like it, you're going to want to push down and support the jaw like I'm doing here in the video. I'm sort of pinching it instead of pushing down directly on the jaw. I just don't feel like that's safe. So just make sure you're holding that jaw and not putting a lot of pressure on it. Hold it with at least 2 fingers or use both hands. Once you're happy with that, you'll go ahead and peel your carrier sheet away. The easiest way to do that is to fold it over itself and peel back. And once you peel that away, you have a tongue on your dog. So next, we'll go over 7s, which can be a little bit trickier. So for 7s, they have a weird sort of like hump in the back of their mouth. It's essentially not even back there, like it's not a flat surface. As you can kind of feel it if you touch it with your fingers. You'll feel that the back is higher than like the front of the mouth. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your tongue in between the 2 humps on the side of the back of the mouth. You do not want to put it all the way towards the back or else the vinyl will wrinkle and it won't look right. So be very, very careful to put it in between the 2 bumps in the sides of the mouth. Once you're happy with where it is, you can just push down with your thumb, support the jaw with your other fingers, and then you're going to peel that backing piece away, or excuse me, the carrier sheet. You're going to peel that away, then you might end up with a little wrinkle in the back still. You should just be able to push on that with your finger gently and smooth it out. Sometimes it can be a little stubborn, so you have to go back over and do it again. But just gently shove it out of there with your finger, and the holographic vinyl is a little trickier, but there we go, no wrinkles. And then next up is the 110 series. So we'll be using a forked tongue in this example. So here's our tongue. I already took off the white backing paper. I'm going to go ahead and angle him so I can get it in there. It can be a little tricky with these dogs. The space is really tight and their mouths are really narrow. And the ridges are kind of high on the sides of their mouths. So it's just going to take some fiddling with. Make sure you use the edges of that carrier sheet to get it in there. Luckily, their mouths are narrow, so it actually makes getting the tongue centered a lot easier, but it can take some fiddling with. I would suggest putting the tongue up a little bit and not putting it right at the back of the mouth, just so it's more visible. But you can just test the fit and see what you like. It's not going to block their mouth from closing or anything. It's totally safe. But just like the other 2 models, you'll want to support that jaw when you're pushing the tongue down where you like it. Just pinch it between your fingers or put your other hand under it like I'm doing in the video. But once you're happy with it, just peel that clear carrier sheet away. Do it from the back of the mouth. Usually the back sticks better. If you're having trouble getting that to stick, just keep pushing down, it'll stick. But yeah, there's your tongue, and there you go. Make sure with these models, both the 110 and the 210, which I'm going to cover next, you're really happy with the placement before you press down, because it can be pretty much impossible to pull that tongue out and fix it without ruining it. So next we'll do the 210, and this is a pointed tongue as an example. These guys are really easy to get it in for. Just line up the tongue to where you want it to be, and with how big their mouths are, it's not as difficult to get your fingers in there. So you'll just do the same things you did for any other model. You'll just line it up in the center the best you can, and then you can, as long as you don't press down, you can mess with the placement. Once you're happy, just gently use your thumb to push down on it. Um, you can lift it up like I did in the video if you're not happy. Just make sure you're not pushing down super hard until you're happy, like I said. But here we go, and we're gonna go ahead and get that guy in there as centered as I can. Then I'm gonna push down on the back first and sort of rub the whole thing, supporting the jaw with my fingers. And then there's the tongue. We're gonna go ahead and peel that carrier sheet away, pulling it over itself, making it easier. And there we go. And he has a tongue. So hopefully that helped. If you're still having any issues getting your tongue on, let me know and I will help you myself.